My 25F boyfriend, 25M, is making my injury about him. How do I handle this? I, 25 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 25 male, for approximately a year and a half now. We have had some ups and downs but nothing too serious. I have struggled in the past with thinking if we are actually compatible due to lifestyle factors, but that's not relevant. Anyways, about 2 weeks ago I injured myself running. I am usually the type to just walk it off and hope that it heals on its own. However, after a week in pain I decided to go get an MRI to confirm if it was a stress fracture or not. When I brought this idea up to my boyfriend, he simply said that he doesn't think I needed one and that he has had pain so bad that he couldn't walk and it was fine the next day. This did not make me feel so great. I decided to go ahead and pay, with my own money, for an MRI. Lo and behold, it was a stress fracture and a pretty serious one. I was quite upset about getting this news, as I am an active person and all of my hobbies, things that I love to do, depend on me being active or outside. This was especially difficult news to receive with summer approaching. I am on crutches for the next 6 weeks and the doctor said I may need surgery to fix it. I expressed to my boyfriend how upset I was about all this and was just met with, "It could be worse," and "You'll survive." Since then, he has been acting cold to me ever since, so I decided to ask him what was bothering. He said that my negativity around the entire situation is starting to affect him and that me saying, "I am okay," every time he asks how I am doing is upsetting him. I just cannot seem to wrap my head around this reaction and can't tell if I am doing something wrong here by being upset over my injury. It seems as though he is making this all about him and is expecting me to apologize to him over this. I was really taken aback by his reaction and it is making me think about how supportive he would be if something truly serious happens. How do I handle this situation? Is your boyfriend the type who coughs once and then stays in bed for the rest of the day? Take this as a good example of how he will treat you in times of need or distress moving forward. It doesn't sound like he's currently mature enough to support a long-term partner. How your partner treats you when you are sick, injured, grieving, etc., is an excellent way to find out who they really are. He sounds extremely selfish and borderline narcissistic. I don't mean to minimize the pain you are currently experiencing, but what if you, heaven forbid, you had cancer or some other life-altering illness? He sounds like the type who would bail. A true partner is someone who sticks by your side in sickness and health, and doesn't expect an apology because you're upset about not feeling well. If I were you, I'd be seriously reevaluating the relationship. Wishing you a speedy recovery. He's not being straight with you, and his vague responses would indicate to me he knows he's in the wrong, but he's entrenched in the idea that you're being a jerk. Use some, "I feel," language and tell them how these responses are impacting you. If you take a stab at a mature conversation and they attack you, shut it down. Then you have to decide if a lack of maturity constitutes a deal breaker. Imagine what it would be like if you ever had a child with this man. Honestly, I would reevaluate this relationship. Take his reaction as evidence of what sort of partner he is, and use that evidence to inform your decision to stay or leave. 1.5 years is not a long time to get to know someone. You are now seeing a side of him that will you help decide if this is a partner you can rely on. 30M caught my girlfriend 32F flirting with her ex-fling? 30M, I know I'll catch some grief for this, but yes, I went through her phone. Been dating this girl for 6 months, but something felt off about this one thing. So yesterday I went through my 32F girlfriend's phone to see if she had still been in contact with an ex-fling of hers that happened some years back. When I asked if they still talked, she said no and swore up and down that they only shared a few messages back and forth in December, before she had even met me. I looked on her Instagram, and there was no chat to be found. She had deleted their Instagram conversation. So I searched his name into the messages search bar and a conversation between my girlfriend and her sister came up in regards to him. My girlfriend had sent her sister screenshots of her and ex-fling's conversation on Instagram. Turns out they had chatted last month, when we were official, about the past they had together, etc. When my girlfriend noticed I had her phone, she immediately started grabbing for it, to which I calmly said, "You need to stop and let me see this for myself." So then she had to sit right beside me and every now and then grabbing for the phone, to which I kept telling her to stop. Some of the things that she said to him were, "You know, when I was single a few months back I thought about reaching out. I was your favorite?" And a big long drawn out message about how great of a guy he is, and also told him to stop by and see her and her family someday. They talked about their new partners, she mentioned me as well. He said if it doesn't work out to let him know, and she hearted the message. A few weeks earlier when I asked about him, she said he was a scumbag and a cheater and couldn't be trusted. But then in the messages she was praising this guy. I only saw 4 screenshots, which were the ones she sent to her sister, so I'm sure there was a lot more to it than what I saw. The thing that is bothering me most about this is that she would always say how loyal she is in any relationship, and I believed that. She didn't cheat, but she did get caught flirting with an ex-flame. Break it off. At the end of the day, she's a liar. We've all seen this movie and it doesn't end well for the hero. You're young, time to move on because she just told you who she is, go live your best life. Do you have any self-respect? Just leave this unfaithful partner and find someone who will love and respect you. She said he is a scumbag and a cheater and couldn't be trusted. This is exactly what she is doing. They belong together. Clown face. Dude, this woman isn't worth the time, energy. 6 months, just break up. A few weeks earlier when I asked about him, she said he was a scumbag and a cheater and couldn't be trusted. But then in the messages she was praising this guy. This is the guy she will cheat with. Dude, I will break if off right then and there. My 25F girlfriend upset because I 25M wanted to leave a party. So last Friday, my girlfriend and I went bar hopping with a group of friends. About 5 of my guy friends and 5 of her girlfriends. After hitting up 6 bars, we heard about an after party and everyone agreed it sounded fun, so we went. About 30 minutes into the party, a few of my friends and I noticed that some people there had guns. There was also a lot of drinking and smoking going on, and it just didn't feel like a safe environment to be in. I told my girlfriend in the group that I thought we should leave because of the sketchy vibes. My friends agreed with me, but my girlfriend didn't want to go because her friends wanted to stay. We ended up arguing back and forth for about 10 minutes. Eventually, she agreed to leave with me, but on the way home she called me controlling and paranoid. That really threw me off. I genuinely felt unsafe, and I would never hesitate to leave a place if she felt uncomfortable. No matter the setting, I would always prioritize her safety and peace of mind. I feel hurt that she didn't do the same for me in this situation. Should we break up? Would appreciate any thoughts or advice on how to process this. I would at least have a serious conversation about your last paragraph, and if she can't even imagine from an empathic perspective why you feel hurt because of her behavior, you can draw consequences. Drinking and guns should never mix. You absolutely made the right call to leave. I would revisit this after a day or two when you both are sober and had time to think, and if she doesn't backtrack when you talk it through, then that would show that she doesn't have her priorities straight. If she still feels like you're controlling and paranoid when she's sober, then dump her ass. Guns mixed with alcohol and weed is a bad combo for sure. Your instincts told you the vibe was sketchy. I don't think that's being paranoid at all. You did the responsible thing by leaving. Your girlfriend doesn't have very good judgment. Y'all were drinking and possibly high. People say stupid shit under the influence. Talk to her now that you're sober. Explain to her why you wanted to leave. If she can't prioritize your safety over her fun, then break up. Break up. She's willing to put your life at risk to party, not worth it. She's showing you she is willing to put herself, her friends, and you in harm's way because she wants to have fun. If I went to a party with some friends and I seen it wasn't a safe environment, people having guns and drinking, I'd be leaving ASAP, and dragging them out ain't no party worth the risk of losing a possible life. My 28F husband, 28M, doesn't engage in foreplay. My husband of less than 1 year so far doesn't engage in any kind of foreplay with me, whether it be kissing, touching, oral, fingering, etc. And this is despite my asking many times. This is the first person I've ever been with who doesn't do these things, and he says he just never actually liked to. In fact, one time, he told me it turned him off to even think about fingering. I don't understand that. I actually really enjoy pleasing my partner, especially giving head, but I don't like being the only one who ever does it, so I eventually stopped. Now our sex life feels so bland and I can't seem to get over the stump. I find myself fantasizing about other people all the time, even my close friends, which I feel embarrassed about. Is there anything I can do to save my sex life? Edit, I see a lot of people asking why I married my husband, so I should clarify that everything else in our marriage is really good for the most part. Even our sex life isn't outright bad. He usually lasts a long time and performs well, so I do get pleasure from it. I just really miss being fingered, eaten out, because everyone I had ever been with before loved to do those things. It seems that recently I've started to enjoy the sex a little bit less, and it seems to be progressing over time. I want to feel really wanted and I want to reciprocate that feeling. I'm just not sure if I'm asking too much or if it's something I can genuinely fix. The past couple of times have left me disappointed because of this issue. Skeptical smiley face. Tell him you want to orgasm before intercourse, and if you don't, you're getting a divorce. You married him knowing this, or there's more to the story? He doesn't even kiss you? Does he even like you? Girl, I think divorce is in the cards for you. Are you sure he's fully into women? Seems strange thinking about fingering would turn him off. In general, what man wouldn't want to at least touch ass and boobs when given the chance? Why did you marry him? Why did you marry someone who only cares about themselves in bed? That's so pathetic that he couldn't care less about you and her pleasure. No more sex if you don't like the sex. He isn't owed sex.